This is the Learn It information for week 3 of Fix It 4, The Little Mermaid. You are going to remember, review all your grammar cards. So take out from weeks 1 and 2 and review those, then cut out the week 3 grammar cards and look those over. Some of the new things that might be review if you're at this level of Fix It are the ing participial sentence opener, which how you use adjectives before a noun, and then knowing the difference between like or as. Like or as can both be used as prepositions, but as, it's very specific when you would use that as a preposition. Most of the time, it's a clausal starter. It's a subordinating conjunction. So a lot of times when you say as for a preposition, you really mean like. The only time as works is if you're talking about in the role of. So he is outstanding as a father. That would count. Okay, so notations, what we're going to do is we're going to mark the subject and verb pairs. One of the things that helps us do is if we can see a verb and go, okay, who's doing that? That gives us our subject. If we have a pair, a subject and a verb pair, we have a clause. And that's important to know. And it's important to know these things because it helps us determine punctuation. Commas with number 4 openers. When you have a participial opener, whether it begins with an ed word or an ing word, after the participial phrase, you're going to have a comma. Sometimes it's an implied, or invisible, they call it. So you have the word being implied, like stunned by the beauty of the prince, comma. So being stunned by the beauty of the prince, comma. The Little Mermaid fainted at his feet. I can't think of anything else. So that would be, you need a comma after that, but you hear that being is implied. And then we have talked in the past about coordinate adjectives and cumulative adjectives. Coordinate adjectives require commas separating them. Cumulative adjectives do not, because they work together. So one of the ways, I'll go ahead and share this because I did it for a previous Fix It and I've already got it available for you to see, is right here. Cumulatives build on one another, or they work together. One lovely spring morning. So this word lovely is an adjective. It's not an OI adverb, it's an adjective describing the spring morning. Okay, so no comma because lovely goes with spring morning. A coordinate adjective is when both, remember these are for adjectives in front of a noun. It was a crisp, clear day. So both of those words independently describe day. Crisp is not describing the clear day. The day is both crisp and clear. So 2 ways to test that. Write the word and instead of the comma. It was a crisp and clear day. That makes sense. Or flip it around, change the order and see if it still sounds okay. It was a clear, crisp day. That still sounds okay. But look up here on my cumulative. This is where you can see how you can test that way. One lovely and spring morning. That doesn't sound right, does it? Or if we say one spring lovely morning, also doesn't sound right. So there's your clue. What you have is cumulative adjectives. So no comma with those. And then we have compound adjectives, and that's when you have 2 words that work together to describe something. They kind of form an adjective together. So rose-colored means it's the shade of rose. So those 2 words. So after the noun, the glasses she wore were rose-colored. You just have the 2 words. But if I move this and change my sentence structure around so that the adjective, the compound adjective is coming before the noun it modifies, then I would hyphenate it. She wore rose-colored glasses because it's coming before the noun. Then you don't need to know this, but you do need to know like or as. If you look on page 8, which you should already be there, like is a preposition. So you'll have like followed by a noun phrase. So you could have adjectives and things in there with it, but it's going to end with that noun. Starts with a preposition, ends with a noun. So like glass, the sea shimmered like glass. The big thing is that there is no verb in a prepositional phrase. As is a subordinating conjunction, an adverbial clause starter. So as and as if are used to compare a noun to an idea. So the mermaid explored the castle. Mermaids, excuse me, explored the castle as they wished. Your clue is they wished. You have a subject and a verb. So if you have that subject and that verb, that means you have a clause. So you wouldn't say they explored the castle like they wished, because you have a subject and a verb afterwards. So for the most part, as is an adverbial clause, like is a comparison. Comparing a noun to a noun. That's an important thing, all right? So you will see some of those in your fix-it, so be aware of them. And go ahead and take a crack at that, and I will get the corrections up as soon as I can.